Hey guys, it's Sean here, and in this video, I want to talk about third-party tracking. Now, I use a tool called FunnelFlux in my business. I have used them forever. And as you may be aware of at this point in the training, if you're running ads on Microsoft or Google, or for some reason you're running ads outside of those two platforms on another ad platform like Facebook, TikTok, whatever, one thing you can only do at this point without third-party tracking is track your cost per lead, right? You can't actually understand which keywords, which search terms are making you the money. You can't really tell which devices are making you the money, which locations are making you the money, and so on, all right? That's where FunnelFlux comes into play. FunnelFlux is sort of the marriage between your ad platform and your affiliate network, right? Max Bounty is where most of you are right now, so you can certainly see all your revenue there. And Google and Microsoft is where you're running ads. You can see all your spend. But how do you know which keywords, which devices, etc., are making you the money? Right now, we're just judging by which keywords, which devices, which locations, whichever optimization we're going by, what's getting us the lowest cost per click, what's getting us the lowest cost per lead. But let me just throw something out there. Would you rather pay $5 per lead if you knew that for that $5 per lead you were making $7? Or do you want to pay $1 per lead but you're making 50 cents? I don't know about you, but I'd rather profit $2 than lose 50 cents. So the cost per lead is a good metric. If you don't have third-party tracking, you can still do like 80% of the work, but for the $50 to $100 a month or whatever FunnelFlux costs, if there's any tool outside of the program that I recommend, this is the one, okay? So I'm gonna show you right now an example. This is my personal account here. You can see last year we did over $1 million in revenue. Actually done a lot more. There's whole other things that we do in my business that don't get tracked by FunnelFlux, but that is besides the point. And if I actually look at this thing all the way back, I don't know how long I've been with FunnelFlux, let's say 2020 maybe. I think I'd go beyond that, to be quite honest with you. We can see here, let's just see how many millions we've done, and we've done over $3 million, okay? So tons of revenue through here. What does it mean? So there's gonna be more training on this in this module. I'm just gonna give you a bit of an overview here to show you. But if I go to stats, drill down reports, for example, and I sort by campaign, and I sort by offer, and I sort by URL tracking field, and I select keyword, again, this will all make a lot more sense as we do training. Just follow along for a second. I'm gonna go ahead and select a campaign here that has data on it, and I'm gonna select a date range of, let's just again go with all time here, all the way back to January 2020 to current, okay? And let's just select the current time of this video, which is March the 6th, January 1st to March the 6th. And I'm gonna select a random campaign to show you some data. So I'm gonna pause to find that campaign. I'll be right back. All right, so here's a rent-to-own campaign I've run in the past. I don't have the exact dates, but you can see it's got almost $30,000 of data in it. What does it mean? All right, so if I actually scroll down, I can see all my pages in the funnel. And I know that the Google Step 1 is my opt-in page. So I can see right here, my conversion rate offer view is 41%. That means I was getting a 40% opt-in rate. Again, guys, don't worry right now. I'm gonna walk you through all these stats. I'm just showing you the power of third-party tracking right now. I can also see I was running different offers here. Here is an offer called Rent to Own Genius, right? And we can see that the earnings per offer view on that offer were 70 cents. And I was running something called Rent to Own Club and Rent to Own's listings, and we had 30 cents and 39 cents respectively. So Rent to Own Genius was clearly the winner. 70 cents is a lot better than 40. Okay, and I remember this campaign, I was paying about 60 cents a lead. So I was making 10 cents for every lead that came in. Then I was making a lot of money mailing on the back end. This offer unfortunately went away. The advertiser went out of business for a variety of reasons. Not gonna get into that. But let me show you the power of this, okay? So if I click on it, it's actually going to list out now all the keywords that took traffic. So if I want to sort by earnings per offer view here, we can see, and some of them just have one click, right? That's an offer view. But look at this one. Cheapest apartments near me on 29 clicks, $1.40 EPC. Cheap homes for rent near, 36 clicks, $1.12. Here's one with 40. Cheap places for rent, $1.01. Okay, so I'm gonna see all these keywords that are absolutely crushing it for me. Yes, overall, my EPC is like 70 to 75 cents, but some of these keywords are getting well over $1. This is how you separate yourself from the pack, all right? Because all you're going by right now is what's your lowest cost per lead. And it's wonderful. If you can get 40, 50 cent leads and you make 60 cents, great. But I don't know what this cost per lead is here, for example, on cheap places for rent, but I know my EPC is $1. So if I'm paying 60 cent leads, but I'm paying 90 cents on cheap places for rent, without funnel flux, I might press pause, right? Because I might sit there and say, well, I'm looking to get 60 cent leads. This one's getting me 90 cents. It's way, way too high. I'm gonna pause it. But little do I know that this is a very profitable keyword. And then I have one up here, cheapest apartments near me. Look at this, $1.40 basically EPC. What if I was paying $1.25 a lead? I might press pause, but now I just shut off a keyword that's making me 15 cents for every single lead that comes in, all right? This is gonna be the power of funnel flux. You can do this stuff by location, you can do it by device. There's a bunch of different parameters that will pass back into funnel flux for you to read the data. One caveat I wanna give you here, and there's a reason I'm gonna give you for it, is my screen will definitely look different than yours. This is a very old version of funnel flux. They do not offer to the general public. They have a much better, I'm not using the better version, I'm using the old version because my business has hundreds of links out across the internet, right? And if I was to switch to the new version today, I would literally have to go update hundreds of pages, hundreds of links. We would miss stuff, things would break. It would be an absolute disaster, okay? So I'm not gonna do that, right? But if I could start from scratch today, I would use the new funnel flux that you guys are gonna get access to, okay? So your screens are gonna look different, but don't worry, all the training I'm gonna give you is related to the new screens. I just don't want you to open tickets being like, what's the funnel flux Sean was using from that very first video? Because my screen doesn't look the same as his. That is because I'm using a very old version. This is hosted on my own server when they used to offer that. Now you're gonna use their new cloud servers. They're awesome, they're fast, they're even better than this. But like I said, this works for me. It still works amazingly well. And it would just, the time and effort to move over to the new funnel flux is just impossible, okay? So that's really it for third-party tracking. I think this is absolutely critical. We save it to the end here, near the end of the program, because we don't want you focusing all your hard-earned money on tracking software while you're getting your landing pages set up and things like that. But as you're getting traffic going, as you're starting to optimize, this really is the ultimate optimization tool, because without it, I wouldn't say you're flying blind, but you're lacking a lot of data that can help you make better business decisions, okay? So that's it for this video, and I'll see you on the next one.